And then I took my DAT for the first time at the end of January. Here, I'm gonna put my score breakdown here, like right here.
Beautiful, looking nice and looking good, say I go fit to chop you like my food. Beautiful, looking nice and looking good.
The end of junior year, it was coming to a close. About May is when, so I was supposed to start studying in March, but I was just getting overwhelmed with my class load. I think I was taking 18 hours that semester, and so I just waited until May, which is when classes were over and finals were over, to focus on finishing studying. So I studied every single day for hours and hours a day from May to June 21st, I think was my retest date. And so this whole time I'm studying, I'm praying. When I tell y'all I was a prayer warrior, like I was just trusting God, because I'm like, please, I can't take this test a third time. Like and I was applying that cycle. So I had already completed my app, like wrote my essays, everything, and I was just waiting to take my test so I can send it. So June 21st comes, and here is my score breakdown for my second test. Ding, 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 ding. I got a 21, which I was so proud of. I think that's like 86th percentile. I was ecstatic. Honestly, any score beginning with a 2 would have been great, but I'm just so happy that I got a 21, which means I didn't have to retake it and I could send it off with my application, and I would be done with that. I submitted my applications, officially submitted, I think, July 2nd, and, you know, it takes a couple weeks to process. I did Texas schools, and I did, so that's TMD SAS, and then I also did ADSAS, because I applied to BU, Western University, Howard University, Houston, Dallas, Baylor in Dallas, or sorry, A&M in Dallas, and San Antonio. So those are the schools that I had applied to. Am I missing any? No, okay, that's where I applied. And I applied to USC as well, and I applied to another East Coast school that I'm blanking on. But I believe I applied to 9 schools in total. I just don't remember. Oh, and Tufts. I received my first interview invite in August, and it was from Western University, which is in Pomona, California, and it was for September 13th or something like that. And honestly, y'all don't even understand the way I cried, the way I screamed. Like, I called my mom, I called my friends. Like, I was so happy because I wasn't even sure I was going to get an interview. Like, my stats were so low compared to people who get interviews for dental school. And so when I got that, like, my heart was just, it was fluttering. Like, I was so happy. So my Western interview came, and it was really nice. Like, I like the city that the school's in. And so my next interview actually came in, my interview invite, it came in September. I don't remember when in September, but that was for BU. So at this point, I received 2 interview invites with my 3.1 GPA. So I'm just like, God, you are really showing out today. Like, what is going on? Like, I was like, there's no way you guys can tell me that I wasn't meant to be a dentist, because the way God just made it happen for me. And so then in October, I was like, I had a dry period where I wasn't getting any more interview invites, and I was like, okay, that's fair. Like, my stats weren't great, so maybe this is it. October comes, and I get a 3rd interview invite, and that one was from Howard. Shout out to HU. And so I had that interview in November. So that was my last interview of the interview season. I didn't get any more invites after that. And I had those interviews, and my last interview was in November. That was Howard. So, you know, I'm waiting. December 2nd is decision day. So I get a call, and the lady's like, hi, is this Dolapo? And I'm like, yes, this is she. And she's like, well, my name is so-and-so, and I'm calling on behalf of the admissions board at Western University School of Dental Medicine. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I would just like to congratulate you on I did not hear the rest of what this woman said. As soon as she said congratulations, when I tell you, my heart, it dropped to the pit of my stomach. Like, I left class, and I was walking on Speedway, which if you go to UT, you know what Speedway is. If you don't, it's this big walkway. I was screaming. I was jumping for joy. I was screaming. I was waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Like you couldn't even understand the joy in my heart. Like, I had gotten into dental school. So I called my mom and I was just screaming. Like, I was crying. I'm about to cry right now, like, thinking about it, because I was just so happy. Like I'm living my purpose. Like, I'm fulfilling the purpose that God has set for me. Okay. So I was really happy about that. And then later I get an email. And it says, on behalf of Boston University School of Dental Medicine, we would like to congratulate you. And I was already on, like, fueled. So I was like, oh my gosh. Not only did I get into one school, I got into 2 schools on December 2nd. And then I kept reading, and it said, see attached scholarship information. I literally almost fell out. Not only did I get accepted to 2 schools, I also got accepted with a scholarship. Nah, y'all cannot tell me a single thing. I was walking on cloud 9, and I was just so happy, and I was ecstatic, and you just couldn't tell me anything that day. So later that day, because for some reason Howard is always the last to do stuff, I was in my group message with the people I had interviewed with, and everyone was like, are you getting the emails? Are you getting the emails? And so I was refreshing, because I'm like, where's my email? And so I finally got my email, and I was really excited, and I opened it. But it said, we regret to inform you that you have been placed on a wait list. So at the time, like, I really, really wanted to go to Howard. I grew up in Maryland, so that's like my backyard. So I really, really, and it was cheaper. Howard was the cheapest school that I applied to. So I really wanted to go to Howard, and I was sad because I got waitlisted, but not too sad because I had 2 acceptances. So long story short, I spent some time deliberating, and I ended up choosing BU, and that is where I'm at today as a first-year dental student, and I'm just really, really happy. My journey has been long. It's been complicated. It's been full of me doubting myself, like a lot of self-doubt, a lot of fear, and that fear was honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of valid because, like I said, my stats were low, but also just fear placed on me by other people, like people telling me that I wouldn't be able to do it, that I wouldn't be able to get here, but look where I'm at. I am in dental school, I'm a dental student, and I'm doing what I love, and I'm doing what I can do to live in my purpose and to help people and make people happy, and just, I'm really happy, and I'm really proud of myself. I will say, having a low GPA of 3.1, so it's not like the highest, but I still think a 21 is pretty high. Or maybe close, it's a little bit above average, I will say. So I think, honestly, that 21 really did help because it showed, yes, you know, her GPA is it's a little low, but it's not because she doesn't know the material. Like, clearly, she can take this test, this long 4.5 hour, 5 hour test, so she knows how to do, she has a grasp of the concepts. And it also helped that I had an upward trend in my GPA, so my 3.1 is because I started off pretty bad, you know, failed chem twice. So that is the reason that started off low. But it did, you know, I was doing great. Like, I started getting A's and B's in my upper division sciences. And so that showed once again that I could handle the rigor. And I was taking big course loads. Like I said, junior year, that semester that I took my DAT, I was taking 18 hours. So that was pretty consistent. I was taking anywhere between 15 and 18 hours from, like, first semester, junior year on. Even senior year, like, I was taking 16 hours when I should have been chilling, but my fault, it's okay. So that upward trend was key. Having a high DAT score was key. I also had a lot of volunteer hours. So I'm an AKA, and pretty much all we do is service. So I had a lot of volunteer hours from AKA. I had a lot of volunteer hours from Pre-Dental Society because I used to do stuff with them. And then I had a lot of extracurriculars. Like, not only was I involved in extracurriculars, I was on exec boards. Like, I was the vice president of my sorority at some point. I was the secretary for my sorority. I did stuff with other orgs. I was on public relations committee for pre-dental society. Like, I did a lot. So my resume was padded with hundreds of hours of volunteering, hundreds of hours of like activities from community service, and then my shadowing hours too. So I think I had somewhere around, I want to say like 160-ish shadowing hours. 116 of them came from shadowing my general dentist, and then the rest of them came from, I shadowed another general dentist in Austin, and then I also shadowed an endodontist and an oral surgeon, just because I was curious what they did. But I would recommend the bulk of your shadowing hours should definitely be general dentistry, because you're going to dental school to become a general dentist, and then if you choose to specialize after that, that's after that. But yeah, so that was also really key. Another thing that I think really helped me was my essays. Like, I used my essays, I wrote pretty much up to the character limits, because I wanted to explain that even though on paper I didn't look as academically strong, I really took that time to explain my passion. Like, I love dentistry, and I love that I'm in dental school because I want to help people, and I, as a minority myself, as a Black woman, can use my position to bridge gaps and bridge health disparities and just encourage communities and foster trust and relationships with patients and healthcare providers. And so, like, service and outreach and even mentorship is really, really important to me. And so I'm doing this because I love it. And even though my path here was a little shaky, my passion really, it spoke for itself in my essays. And I really, really sold myself and sold how badly I wanted to be here, and how not only what dental school could do for me, but what I could do as a dentist for other people. And I think that it really showed. I forgot to mention earlier, I wanted to add this part. Networking is so important, guys. Like, the year before I applied, I went to the Adobe Go Dental conference in Chicago, and that's where I networked. That's where I actually met one of the admissions reps for BU. His name is Dr. Dunham, and I met him at that conference, and I was speaking to him, and I told him, I'm like, I really want to do this, but I'm scared. My GPA is low. And he was like, well, you know, you need to, he was just giving me tips, like, take more upper division classes, like, go to office hours. If you don't study this way, like, he was just so encouraging, and he believed in me. And it really just takes one person to believe in you. And guess what? I'm in dental school, and I see Dr. Dunham all the time, and I go up to his office, and it's so funny because I was on the other side, and now I'm there, and just like it takes one person. So network, please, like, reach out, email your schools like you're applying to, like, get to know, go to conferences, like, put yourself out there, put your name out there, because it really does help when your name is in places that you haven't even stepped foot in. So I do encourage you guys to do that. Wow, so we have reached the end of the video. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was really scared to film this video because I feel like for minority students, imposter syndrome for us is very real. Like, there's times where we feel like, how did we get here? We don't belong here. But I think it's just so important to be transparent and live my truth, and this is the truth to how I got here. And if my truth can help anybody out there, then I'm doing something right. So just encourage yourselves, like, stick around people who encourage you, and I obviously, like, support everybody. So if you need some encouragement, just slide in my comments, my Instagram DMs. My Instagram is down below, and I can definitely give you one-on-one advice. Like, I'm good with that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I just encourage you to share this with a pre-dent or a pre-health. Honestly, anyone who's pre-health can benefit from this video because our pathways are very similar. So share this, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and as always, have a very blessed day. Love you guys. Mwah.
Beautiful, looking nice and looking good. Say I go fit to chop you like my food. Beautiful, looking nice and looking good.